Hello, this is Ty Central, and I'm Gavin Willard here with Tommy Grace and Jacob Pelosi. We are going to be discussing some major and tragic events that have taken place during this past decade. The Great Recession, which started in late 2007, could be considered one of the biggest financial hardships since the Great Depression of 1929, which was caused by unsustainable debt. In December of 2007, the world economy began to decline. Back in 2000, a special report predicted that the U.S. might undergo a recession because of the real house prices rising so fast. Many other countries, including Germany, Ireland, Italy, Japan, New Zealand, Switzerland, and the United Kingdom, were also affected by this economic crisis. Many factors contributed to the lead-up of this economic recession, including risky lending practices having to do with personal loans and subprime mortgages, thus began to affect the economy as homeowners fell behind on payments. The financial firm, the Lehman Brothers, which was the largest international financing firm at the time, declared bankruptcy in the U.S. Many other firms were on the verge of bankruptcy and forced to restructure. President Bush signed the Troubled Asset Relief, authorizing over $500 billion in rescue funds to the beleaguered banking firms. Also, another $15 billion was saved to the auto industry. Unprecedented measures are still taken to this day. We go to Tommy Grace for our next event.
Thank you, Gavin. Looking back at another event from this decade, the disaster of Hurricane Katrina affected the lives of over 15 million people. On August 25th, 2005, this Category 3 hurricane struck America's Gulf Coast. Early reports predicted a death toll of over 100 people and billions of dollars of property damage. The citizens of New Orleans, the largest city in the path of the hurricane, had been ordered to evacuate. Not since the Civil War had the whole population of New Orleans been ordered to leave. And after everyone thought the worst had passed, 53 major levees protecting the city broke open, and a surge of muddy water flooded much of New Orleans. 80% of the city was underwater, and 100,000 people were left stranded. The oldest portions of the city are below sea level, and there was nowhere for the water to drain naturally. Barriers were constructed to replace the failed levees, and the power had to be restored in order to pump the water out. Hurricane Katrina was one of the deadliest hurricanes in U.S. history, with total loss of life at 1,836 people. Overall, damages cost over $80 billion, making it the most destructive hurricane in U.S. history. To finish off our broadcast is anchor Jacob Pelosi.
Thank you, Tommy. On September 11, 2001, at 8:45 a.m., the first of two planes crashed into the World Trade Center. American Airlines Flight 11, carrying 81 passengers, was hijacked and flown to North Tower at 440 miles per hour. 18 minutes later, a second plane, United 175, was flown in the South Tower at 540 miles per hour. The second was carrying 56 people. A third plane, American Airlines Flight 77, crashed in the Pentagon at 9:37 a.m. It is estimated that over 3,000 people were killed during these attacks. This includes 343 firefighters and 60 police officers. Al-Qaeda has taken responsibility for the act. The mastermind behind these attacks was Khalid Sheikh Mohammed. The hijackers entered the U.S. legally in 2000. More than 25,000 lives were saved and $20 billion was issued in aid. We remember those heroes who were lost in this very tragic attack.